Hello, welcome back to another episode of From Prison to the Streets. Today we are talking about buff dudes in prison and why they're actually buff. So be sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it. Y'all know that I was in prison for 11 years. I kidnapped and shot a guy who was an alleged pedophile. And I went to prison when I was 17. I wasn't huge. I wasn't little either, 5'9" and around 205, between 205 and 215 when I first went down. And I worked out most of my childhood. There's a lot of guys in prison who are really big. You have this stereotypical image of the hardened convict who has nothing to do, so he works out all day and he gets huge. And you'll see guys on prison shows that are really big and they talk really loud and they seem angry. And the truth is they're really just scared. That's the truth behind it. I'm not trying to start shit. Like, I worked out when I was in prison, not a lot. I worked out a decent amount. We'll go with that. I worked out a decent amount, but I didn't work out multiple times a day, every day, for years on end. I worked out once a day, every day for years on end. Sometimes I would work out more than once. I was no stranger to fitness. Let's just say that. But I wasn't huge. I wasn't swole. I was fit. Picture of me shirtless. You good now? Good? All right. Okay. The thing is, people who are big and loud in prison are intimidating. I don't know if it's a natural thing with humans, the way we're wired or something, but when we see a big, imposing figure and they're being loud and getting in our face, it's natural for people to be intimidated by that, right? The thing is, people who are big and loud, they know this. They are aware that they're intimidating. People who are big like that will get loud and they'll get in people's faces knowing the other dude is going to be intimidated and they're probably going to back down. Do you want to fight a dude who's like 300 pounds of muscle and who seems really angry? Probably not, I'm guessing. I don't know. But these great big guys will get loud knowing that people don't want to fight them. And so they use their size to their advantage. They kind of like to bully people. They like to intimidate people. They like to coerce people into doing their bidding. And they use their size to kind of get their way. You got this big, loud dude. A lot of times he will use his size to intimidate people and extort people. It's how they work. And that's how they thrive in their environment. Everybody finds a way to survive in prison if they actually make it through in one piece. And for a lot of guys, they get big and try to intimidate people. That's how they thrive in their environment. Now, to contrast this with little dudes, small, quiet people are dangerous. I am much more worried about the guy who's really, really quiet, not telling you a thing about how he's going to stab you, than the dude who's, big and tall and loud. Flat out. That dude who is being super quiet when somebody's getting in his face, like if someone's getting in a little quiet dude's face, screaming at him, telling him how they're gonna beat his ass, and the quiet dude is just smiling at him, that dude knows something the big dude doesn't. And that thing that he knows is probably that big dude's fixing to get stabbed or hit over the head with something heavy. Personally, if I'm fighting you and you're big and you're getting loud, I'm gonna treat it like it's a legitimate threat. And in prison, every fight is a life or death situation. I'm not gonna give you the opportunity to kill me. I'm gonna see the end of my sentence. So I'm probably gonna hit you in the head with something or I'm going to stab you. And I don't care if you're, buff or scrawny. If I put a piece of steel in your rib cage, hopefully I got my knife angled so it ain't gonna get stuck in your rib cage. It's gonna go right on through. But if I put a piece of steel in you, it really doesn't matter how big you are. it's gonna hurt a lot. Yeah. But the other thing is, if a quiet person calls someone out, or if a quiet person challenges another dude to a fight, a small, quiet, unassuming individual, they don't have that intimidation factor. They have to go into that conflict knowing that they're going to have to fight. If you're small and unassuming and you don't look intimidating, you know, you're not going to call someone out if you don't know how to fight. You need to know how to fight. So you better believe it's not like the big guy who's pushing up on someone knowing that the other person is going to back down. Small person pushes up on someone, they know that they're going to fight. They're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to put in work. They're going to have to throw down and win. So yeah, there's a big difference there. Anyway, I hope this has given some clarity about some of these guys that you see who are really big, who talk super tough. Yeah, don't let that fool you. And if you know someone in prison, or if you ever end up in prison, hopefully that won't ever happen. Yeah, don't be intimidated by that. That's just a show. That's a show they put on to survive in that environment. They don't know how to fight. They don't have to fight most of the time. They can just intimidate people. Very few of them ever actually get into fights, and when they do, it's usually pretty comical. Anyway, I'm Eric. This is From Prison to the Streets. I will see y'all later.
Rage. Rage.